The unique challenge in Leon is being creative enough to work out how to do fresh fast food. And we've probably made 1,000 mistakes as we've tried to do that. I think we've also inspired others to do the same thing. The idea now that good fast food is a novel idea, it absolutely was when we created the concept, when we created the category. And I think that hopefully we've inspired others with the same zeal, if you like. In terms of the challenges when it comes to sourcing, we are trying to and hopefully succeeding in reinventing fast food. That is not easy. Getting the speed right, getting the health aspects right, getting the cost right, also getting the freshness right. The challenges of bringing that all together in doing fresh fast food, that where you're taking air miles to zero. The idea really was to try and communicate Mediterranean without saying the word Mediterranean, to communicate health without saying healthy, and to communicate taste without having to say tasty. And so really this was all the branding you see is an implicit way of communicating all of those things. The first thing, of course, is to try and find a business that doesn't need too much capital. So a business where the customers are giving you the growth. That's the most important thing. Get some customers, get some profit, get them to fund the growth. If you do have a capital-intensive business, however, I do think it's worth being really imaginative, and we haven't done this, being really imaginative about grants. I know there are lots of sort of, government-backed finance grants that are available, and we hear that smaller businesses get access to that successfully. I would significantly look at both debt and equity-related crowdfunding. It seems to me that it's going to go more and more that way, that consumers are going to want to back brands that they like the sound of. And I would say you certainly should have crowdfunding on the list. And then at some point the banks will be ready to support that as well. The mistakes come when you think that you need to know everything, when you are overly reliant on your own ego. You've got to put all of that aside and dispassionately and humbly accept as much advice as you can. But know the difference between advice and something that you have to do. So you've got to be totally open to the advice and totally confident in your own gut that it's the right advice before you actually execute it and actually put it into action. I think the balance of those two things is really important. Know who you are. And I would encourage anybody to go through a soul-searching process which is totally honest, has intellectual honesty in terms of their own self-perceptions, to understand what team are they going to need around them in order to be successful. So for me, it's really about, from a skills perspective, but also much more importantly from a personality perspective, how does that high-performing team get created? And for me, we look at people and we go, wow, Richard Branson, it's all about Richard Branson. It's not. Richard Branson has always had and will always have a hidden team of people that actually work with him day to day to deliver. And don't expect to be the superstar rock star in the business. Expect to be part of a highly performing team that make your weaknesses irrelevant.